Hello and welcome to another update video about Gala. So I opened my Gala chart this morning. It just keeps dropping. As you know, not unanticipated. We've been waiting for lower lows, and I said to you that we are very much heading towards the 1 cent level if it is actually enough. The Elliott wave count suggests there is at least one more leg down coming anyway here in this wave 5. But it appears to be that we haven't even seen the wave 3 low yet. We will only be able to call the wave 3 low in as soon as we see a smaller impulsive wave structure on the to the upside and on a smaller time frame. But we can't see that yet. I think the key support level that we have to look at is the 1 cent level, and I raised my concerns about Gala. I have been raising my concerns about Gala now for a while, just from a technical point of view. Still a lot of people, I would say, shilling Gala. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a really good project, and I did say that, and I believe that it is a good project, but the problem is, and everybody should know that these days, that fundamentals don't really have much to do with price action and price structure and prices in general. Yeah, fundamentals don't really matter too much. I mean, we see that every day in crypto. Good projects with good fundamentals, solid fundamentals, they all keep dropping. So it's not about fundamentals here. It's about how much does a price actually drop until certain sentiment, certain positive sentiment about a coin is so much destroyed that it will be very, very hard to lift it up again in the next bull run. And I mean, Gala is still one of the most hyped projects in the space, and it still keeps dropping. I think there is something also sort of wrong with the, not wrong necessarily, but they still have a lot of coins to be issued, and I think that is diluting the price further. Certainly doesn't make it easier if in a market where you have very little demand. I mean, it's very basic, where you have very little demand, not necessarily because of a particular project, but you have very little demand just because in the whole crypto space, the sentiment is very, very negative. Yeah, we are in a fear phase or even extreme fear. And in that market environment, people aren't usually buying, especially altcoins are high risk because, as we know, in every bear market, many altcoins die. There's proof. There's a crypto graveyard with thousands of coins that nobody talks about anymore because they got delisted and so on. So we are in that environment, and if in that environment you then put new coins onto the market, it just drives the price down because supply goes up and demand stays low, is low, maybe even goes down because people can't afford to pay their heating bills anymore. So many people are selling these coins at the moment, or at least not buying, and a lot of people have lost money. That is what it is, and we will not be able to call here that a wave 4 to the upside has started until we see a small signal that it suggests it, because I am still looking here at the 1 cent level in general, maybe even lower. And why is the 1 cent level so important? Well, first of all, it looks like, and this was a warning that I issued, it looks like that we are about to drop out of this descending wedge to the downside. There is no attempt Gala makes to react in any bullish way to this support level of that descending wedge. We have actually, as per this chart, broken it now, but okay, I mean, there's always different ways of how you can draw these trend lines. Yeah, it's a bit subjective, but if we see a strong drop now as a result of this break, it would be a confirmation of that break to the downside, or something like moving down and a retest and then coming down. I think if we break out of this wedge, this is really what gives Gala a little bit of support at the moment. You can see that. Then I think we can go very, very quickly to the 1 cent level. And why that is the case, we see much better on the on the Gala tether chart on Kucoin. Now, I don't like the tether charts usually because they are you have difficulties with tether charts due to the depegging of the US dollar from time to time. So you can see actually that we dropped below these support levels, and the 1 cent level is next support. It's not only because this is where the chart started, it's also based on, and again for that I have to go back to the USD chart on Binance. It's also because of Fibonacci extensions. So to measure Fib extensions accurately in these environments here, I have to go to the log chart, because the linear chart doesn't really give me anything that would hold above $1. would hold above 0. Yeah. So one way of calculating the target here is we take the length of the third wave, so from the high of the wave 2 to the low of the wave 3, and there will be some inaccuracies because on some exchanges this drop was not that strong, on some it was a bit stronger. Here this week down on the 12th of May, and then we go to the high of the wave 4, and it takes us basically to the 1 cent level. It shows here 1.185 cents. Again, it can be a bit inaccurate, but I think combining this with the view that the 1 cent level is not only the beginning of this chart, of the tether chart, but that it is also a psychological support level, I think this is quite powerful, and there's a lot of confluence around the 1 cent level. But at the moment, again, here with many altcoins, the view is that anybody who's buying now is just buying or trying to catch the falling knife. And my view is always, I try to be honest, and I try not to shill anything. So be careful when you buy into this. Think twice, do your research, make sure that you don't go all in. Use pocket money only for altcoins. At least that's what I would be doing. And if it fails, it fails. But if it goes well, surely this can make a 50 to 100x in the next bull run if it works out. But the risk is just there. It's like everything in financial markets, and people need to understand that high reward comes usually with high risk, investments. So you take much more risk when you want much more reward. You can bring your risk down if you reduce your position size, invest only pocket money into these altcoins here that are just falling and falling, but then obviously the reward will be smaller as well. So just be aware of that, because a lot of people go into this, say, oh right, these are juicy discounts, right, not knowing that thousands of altcoins in the history of crypto died or have died. Be careful. I can only say that even good projects have died, and I think this is a good project. I'm not suggesting it will die, but someone needs to make people aware of the risks here, because every video I see on YouTube is about, Gala's going to make a 50 and 100x, and it could do, but nobody's talking about the risk. This could just keep dropping, and at some point will get delisted. So be careful. That's all I'm saying here. So yeah, waiting for a signal still to the upside. As long as we don't see that, it will keep dropping, and I'm focusing very much on the 1 cent level, and it's about to break out of this descending wedge. And as soon as I see a signal, I will let you know. Okay, and that's my update about Gala. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.